A very good morning, children. Children, today we shall continue with our revision video. Today we shall take up 3 poems for revision, but it will not be done in detail as we have done in the earlier videos, okay? Since this is your revision video, I will just touch on some of the figures of speech and the appreciation of the poems. So we will take up Unit 1, 1.1 Life, and even 1.3 Have You Ever Seen, and the recent one that you did 2.5 Autumn. Okay, so let's begin. You know Life is written by Charlotte Bronte. You all had this for your orals and many of you did answer well. Now what is the appreciation of this poem Life? The title is Life, author is Charlotte Bronte, the rhyme scheme ABCB. Central idea, this is a motivating and optimistic poem. The poet says that the bad things of life are transient, like a brief spell of rain, and good things invariably follow them. Hope will rescue us and help us to bear our trials, even during times of great adversity. What do you mean by adversity? Difficulties. Like the death of a loved one. We must be optimistic. What is optimistic? Being positive, okay? And have the courage to overcome any mishaps or problems. So the figures of speech, what though death at times steps in. Now here if you see, death is given the human quality of stepping in. So what figure of speech will it be? The figure of speech is personification. And death is given the human quality of stepping in. So this is the appreciation, a little on figures of speech. You have the entire poem. It is a figurative language used to draw pictures mentally and to convey a message or idea much quicker, effectively and vividly. We will see few of the figures of speech. From the poem, you have life, belief is not a dream, so dark as sages say. So here it's an alliteration. Why alliteration, children? Because you have the alphabet S, no? Repeated here. You have the alphabet S here. So it is an alliteration. Then, oft a little rain, morning rain, foretells a pleasant day. So here you are giving life, no? To the morning rain. Because the morning rain is telling us what? Foretells a pleasant day. So it's a personification. Then, sometimes there are clouds of gloom, but these are transient all. Now, sometimes in poems you get sentences which are not in proper order. Like these you will say what? But these are all transient. We don't say transient all. Okay, so it's an inversion. In cases like this, when the order of the sentence is not proper, it is inversion. If the shower will make the roses bloom, oh, why lament its fall? Now here, you see, it's a question mark, it's a interrogation, okay? Then examples, more examples of interrogation and rhetorical questions from the poem. Why lament its fall? What though death at times steps in? What though sorrow seems to win? All these are with the question mark, and it doesn't have any other figure of speech. So it has to be interrogation, okay? So that was the first poem, 1.1. We'll do unit 1.3 now, Have You Ever Seen? By Anonymous. Now this also is a lovely poem, children. If you remember, if you're talking about Have You Ever Seen Anonymous, is written by an unknown poet, okay? And what is the appreciation of this poem? Have you ever seen Anonymous? Rhyme scheme is AABBCCDDEEFF. And what is the central idea? This is an interesting and amusing poem where the poet has made use of plenty of puns. Now the figure of speech that is very prominent in this poem is what? Puns. Just for fun and enjoyment. The reader is expected to enjoy the play on words and appreciate how the same words can have different meanings. What are the figures of speech? We have interrogation is used. The question is asked not to get an answer, but to make one think. Now, I've taken some few lines from the poem, okay, just that you will remember what you've already done. Now, one of the lines here, or open the trunk of a tree at all. Now, here which word gives two meaning? The word trunk. No? We talk about the trunk, that is where you keep your things, okay? And here the trunk of the tree. And what other figure of speech can you say? It's an alliteration, because you have the word which sound the letter is repeated here, T. No, T for trunk and T for tree. So it's repeated for greater poetic effect. Let's see another line. And what is the sound of the birds? Bark. So here we have bark. The word has two meanings. It's a pun here. You're talking about the bark of this birch tree, and you're talking of the bark of the dog. So in this poem, you see, in many of the lines, the figure of speech pun is used. It's very prominent in this poem. So that's a little about the poem. Have you ever seen? Then we have this poem Autumn. That's in Unit 2, Lesson 2.5. Let's see what the appreciation is. This too you had for your orals, and many of you answered well. In the poem Autumn, the poet Kalidas has beautifully described the advent of the autumn season in the country. Autumn is personified in the entire poem. He has compared autumn season to a slender and graceful maiden who has beautified herself in various ways. The imagery and the beautiful, imaginative description of autumn shows the imagination of the poet. The rhyme scheme is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, GF, GH. And a figure of speech that stands out is alliteration. You can see that in this example. She seems a slender maid who soon will be a woman grown. So the sound of the letter S is repeated for greater poetic effect. A little about the figures of speech of this poem. We have birds greet her with her cooing glad, like a bracelet tinkling song. So you can see the word. Now whenever you have the word like, you must know it is a simile. So what is that? It's a direct comparison with the tinkling of a bracelet. Okay, the bird's greeting with the tinkling of a bracelet. Then metaphor, she seems a slender maid who soon will a woman grow. So this is in direct comparison. There is no like or as in it, but there's a comparison. Okay, so she's compared. Okay, Autumn is compared to what? A slender maid who will be a woman grown. Then we have this figure of speech alliteration. She seems a slender maid who soon will be a woman grown. Now here you see which is the alphabet that is repeated, children? Yes, yes, you have S repeated. Okay, so the sound, the letter S is repeated. Therefore, this is the alliteration. Now, this is what the three poems, I just quickly revise through the poem. Now, if you want to watch the videos, please note down. You have the videos of 10th August and 12th August. Okay, and you even have the recent video on autumn. So you can watch all these three videos fully explained. The poem is fully explained in it. And please do the assignment that is given to you. Okay, so children, I hope you've understood this far. Thank you for giving me a listening ear. God bless you.